So now we're got all our arms and ESCs soldered up. Everything's mounted. It's now to connect the power distribution to all of these guys. Those were our old power distribution boards. I'm just going to show you guys how we normally do it. The idea is that you have your pigtail coming connected to there, positive, out at like 45 degrees that way. You're going to solder it up to that last pad. You're going to do the same with this one. It's a bit easier with the negative on that last pad. And then once you've done that, then you can solder all your ESCs, all your negatives from your ESCs looping underneath, and all your positives from ESCs looping underneath. So you're basically going to have it on the top here, and all your positives that you need to cut short, you can cut short and start popping onto here. So you'd cut that, put it on. This one will also be cut short, but your long ones would then thread under and be soldered on there. So you'd be sort of back and forth, back and forth. The newer PDBs are a bit nicer because positive, negative are right next to each other. So you could effectively just positive, negative straight onto the tabs here from the same ESC. We're going to do that, except these wires are a bit long. We don't want to tin them, we don't want to have to cut them. Just to save time on the build, we're literally going to run them underneath and pop them onto the pad opposite, on the opposite end. So if it's this one, those pads there, this one's going to be those pads there, this one's going to be those pads there, and this one's going to be those pads there. It just makes everything a lot easier. What we could also do is look at putting the board that way and then running our pigtail out the side of the copter. But you can do either one, which way you want. If you want the pigtail out the side of the copter over here, or if you want it running out the back over there. So we're going to run this one out the back, but that's completely up to you. Power distribution's got a regulated 12 volts over here, a regulated 5 volts over here. The 5 volts is important because that's what we're going to use to power our flight controller. We'll get to that later. Let's get going. Other important thing is we're going to mark all our ESCs and our arm sets effectively. You can take a bit of masking tape if you want to then mark off each arm, and then just write on there which number it is. That might be the easiest, just to keep track of what's what. But there's also a nice little way, like when it comes to plugging everything in. This is compliments of Steven, our little technician here at Flying Robot. So he basically takes, you always see this negative wire first, and this is now motor number 1, and he just takes his soldering iron and makes a dot on it. So now we know that's motor number 1, which is quite a cool little technique. So we're going to do the same for, this is now number 2, top right. We're going to do the same thing again, except now we're going to make 2 dots. So there's 2 dots there. And now moving down to number 3, we're going to do that again. We're going to just make on the black 1, 2, 3. So we know that's number 3. This one here is going to be number 4, so we're going to do 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's quite simple to make the dots. Quite simple to then line everything up later and know which one's which. So all we need now is to grab a pen, which I don't have available, so there we go. And we can then make a 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you can reference them easily and quickly, and you can follow me along as I do it. So first of all, I'm thinking, let's start with 1 and 3. Let's move those out the way just to complicate, because there's lots of wires around. And remember, we're going to have battery wire at the back. So let's just flip the flight controller, because effectively your copter's flying that way. So that's coming out, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is your back right motor. So to get everything lined up, if we think about where it's going to sit, it's there. This guy's going to sit underneath power distribution board like that, and we're just gonna get the wires soldered onto that guy there. So just to make it easy, we just line them up, and the other thing we can do now is start pre-tinning our power distribution board. So like all your wires, you want to pre-tin all of those pads. So we're actually going to speed this section up of the video. Cool, so we're done with all that. We're now going to make sure that's our back. Remember, there's our battery wires going to go on there. We're going to just flip this around just to line it up, and again, not too much heat, guys. Don't heat up the pads too much. Too much heat on this is just going to either lift the pads or destroy the PDB. But let's try and get that in, and just wait for it to melt and properly go in there. It's all good. So again, we're now just going to shuffle everything around. You'll see that those will tuck under there like that, and now you've got motor number 1, motor number 2, and the 2 ESCs are going to sit nicely on the underneath like that. Okay. We're going to do these other 2. You can carry on, but we'll leave you from there. So we've got our motor layout done, our power distribution board's all wired up, so we can check everything's positive, negative, and we can see that our motor wires are going to run underneath, so if we just tuck them in under that, and then it looks fairly neat. So the next part is we actually need to assemble this onto the frame and get everything mounted. So we'll carry on with that.